Please take your seats. We'll be starting in a minute or so. To all of you. Good evening, Mr. Goh Yu Lin, Governing Board Chairman. Good evening, Professor Aaron Tien, Governing Board Deputy Chairman and NUS Provost. Special guest, Professor Fong Kok Yong, Sing Health, Deputy Group CEO, Medical and Clinical Services, member of the Duke-NUS Governing Board. Professor Ng Wai Ho, Group CEO Designate, Sing Health. Members of the Sing Health and Hospital Senior Leadership. Deans of Duke-NUS, Duke-NUS Clinical Faculty. Distinguished guests, class of 2027, family and friends. Welcome to the Duke-NUS White Coat Ceremony for our 17th MD class. I am Dr. Suzanne Goh, the Associate Dean of Student Affairs, and I'm excited and honored to be your Master of Ceremonies for tonight. The White Coat Ceremony is a very special occasion and marks the students' entry into our noble profession. Before we commence, here are some housekeeping rules. We respectfully ask that you keep your mobile phones on silent mode throughout the event. I would like to inform you that this session is being recorded and live streamed on Facebook. We may also use the footage and images in the school's digital and print publications. When we recite the Hippocratic Oath, we welcome all doctors present to please rise and join the class and faculty to recite the oath together. Thank you for your kind cooperation and participation in making this a wonderful celebration. Our program this evening starts with the opening address by Associate Professor Shiva Saraf Yazdi, Interim Vice Dean, Office of Education, on behalf of the Dean of Duke-NUS Medical School, Professor Thomas Kaufman. Dr. Anuradha Pandey, President of the Duke-NUS Medical Alumni, an alumnus from the class of 2015, will give the welcome message. Before the presentation of the White Coats, we will watch a short video showcasing the class of 2027. Professor Lim Sun Tai, Sing Health Deputy Group CEO for Research and Education, will then join Associate Professor Ong Biao Chi, Sing Health Group Chief Risk Officer, to confer the White Coats to the class. Dr. Danny Pan, alumnus from the class of 2022, will present the class. We are honored to have Professor Fong Kok Yong, Sing Health Deputy CEO for Medical and Clinical Services, and a member of the Duke-NUS Governing Board to deliver his congratulatory remarks and lead the class in their recital of the Hippocratic Oath for the first time. Closing remarks will then be made by Associate Professor Anantham Devanan, Director, Sing Health Duke-NUS Medical Humanities Institute. So now, without further ado, it is my pleasure to invite Associate Professor Shiva Saraf Yazdi to share with us the opening address. Dr. Shiva, please.
To the students of the class of 2027, welcome to the Duke-NUS White Coat Ceremony. This occasion is yours, and we are gathered here for you. To families and friends of the class, a very warm welcome to you. And to the individual and institutional pillars of our community, I extend warm greetings and a grateful welcome for giving today the significance it deserves with your presence. We have with us Governing Board Chairman, Mr. Goh Yu Lin, NUS Provost, Professor Aaron Tien, Sing Health Deputy Group CEO, Professor Fong Kok Yong, Sing Health Group CEO Designate, Professor Ng Wai Ho, our Sing Health Duke-NUS Academic Medical Center leaders, faculty, colleagues. Welcome and thank you all for being here. Today is a ritual, and rituals serve a purpose. This one is to mark our new class, your entry into our community, with all its attendant obligations and privileges. You're no longer merely students. We are welcoming you and will be treating you as our junior colleagues. This means we will guide you to our standards of professionalism and then hold you to them. In turn, you should treat yourselves the same way Internalize and embody these standards and hold yourselves to them. The white coats you will soon don are an outer symbol of membership in our community, but the inner marker is the obligations and privileges you will from now on carry for a professional lifetime. Helping you don your coats are Professors Ong Biao-Chi and Lim Sun Tai, each an exemplar of the Clinician Plus ideal, and each an exemplary advocate for the school and mentor for our students. Once you have been donned, Professor Fong Kok Young, a paragon of servant leadership and professionalism in our community, will lead you through the Hippocratic Oath. The oath is your commitment to yourself and to all of us as your colleagues made before your peers, that you will accept your obligations and cherish your privileges. It is a grounding reminder that you are in service to others as part of something ancient in time and larger than yourselves. So what are the obligations and privileges into which you are stepping? The obligation is to embrace and live by the dictates of professionalism that define our community and give us a shared identity. You've begun to explore these since day one of medical school, reflecting on how you may begin to think, act, and feel like a physician. The privilege is to care for your fellow women and men at their most vulnerable moments, to be touched by their trust on their most vital matters, and to improve their lives, thereby giving purpose and grace to your lives. Class of 27, the next few years will be generally tough, sometimes a little bit terrifying, but ultimately transformative. There will be times you soar and times you stumble. Our community will be here to support, guide, and mentor you, even if at times our love might appear somewhat tough. Being terrified but then supported breeds courage, and stumbling but recovering breeds resilience. To the family and friends of the class, you have been indispensable to the journeys that have brought our newest class to us, and you should take great pride in that. But your work is not done, and you have a vital role yet to play in developing our students into physicians. We set our moral compasses by the compasses of those we love and respect, so it will fall to you to help them point their compass in the direction of professionalism, integrity, and compassion. Allow me to say a bit more about compassion. Our curriculum is intended to educate our students to solve problems with critical thought, tenacity, and teamwork, but also to see opportunities to apply their knowledge to improve the lives of those who may be suffering. This process of recognizing suffering, being troubled by it, and caring enough to do something about it is the essence of compassion in a human being. If I may, I'd like to revert for a moment to my Iranian roots and share an 800-year-old poem on this subject by the Persian poet Sa'di. He was from the ancient city of Shiraz, which some of you may recognize as giving its name to an internationally popular grape drink. The poetry is lost in translation, but the point should come through. Sa'di wrote, "Human beings are members each of one another, for in creation they are of one essence. Should circumstance afflict one member with pain, the other members at peace cannot remain. To then be untroubled by the distress of others is unbefitting to be called human in name." So class of 2027, our expectation is for you to be professional, but our greater hope for you is to be compassionate. It is compassion that will allow you to feel the joy of bettering the lives of others. It is compassion that will transform your pursuit of medicine into a fulfilling life of purpose. Congratulations, and welcome once again into our academic medical center community and a professional life of compassion.
Thank you, Dr. Shiva. I would now like to invite Dr. Anuradha Pandey to give us the welcome message.
So to our special guest, Professor Fong Kok Young, Governing Board Chairman Mr. Goh Yu Lin, Governing Board members, faculty, all our distinguished guests, Class of 2027 and their family members, a very good evening. My name is Anu, and I'm the president of the Duke-NUS Medical Alumni. And as a proud alumnus from the class of 2015, it is my honor to have the opportunity to speak to all of you today. It has been almost 10 years since I graduated from Duke-NUS, and one of my fondest memories remains to be my very own white coat ceremony. As you walk across the stage today to receive your white coat, we warmly welcome you as new medical students into the healthcare community. This ceremony depicts the beginning of your journey in medicine and the rites of passage of a fulfilling medical career that awaits you. You're entering a healthcare landscape that is equal parts exciting and challenging, and as you embark on this new journey, allow me to share some of my own personal reflections. First and foremost would be to always invest in the beginning and to master your scientific knowledge well. My hope is that you will all stay curious and ask plenty of questions throughout your clinical attachments, listen in on difficult conversations, and hone your communication skills. Being a doctor is not just a job, but a lifelong commitment, and setting your foundations right from the start will only serve you well. Whilst building a strong foundation, seek out as well role models or mentors who will also help you along your journey. My greatest gift from Duke-NUS were the friends I made and the inspiring physicians we had the fortune of calling our teachers. From the very first day sitting in the team lead room and being taken through the history of medicine by Professor Ho, to learning about medical ethics during our clinical years from Prof. Tiru, to the start of our clinical rotations and staying back till late for Prof. Su's legendary tutorials, and finally graduating and working alongside some of these esteemed clinicians, my medical school journey was peppered with many wonderful memories, and I still find myself going back to advice given to me years ago when I now teach medical students and residents. As you walk along the corridors and hallways of the wards and hospitals in your white coats or scrubs, also remember the honor and privilege to be learning from our patients and their stories. Your patients and their caregivers will be some of your greatest teachers, as you will all play a vital role in their care. The history a patient shares with you because you offered a listening ear may prove vital to your team, or how the bag of e-blood you run for whilst on call may also just help to save a life. As you work through each patient's problem list, you will not only learn more about medicine, but more importantly, about the doctor you are becoming. So as Dr. Shiva mentioned, the next 4 years will no doubt prove to be challenging. And so my second personal reflection on this journey is the importance of knowing our why, and what first fueled our passion to dedicate our lives in the service of others. This journey will present you with long hours spent mastering clinical knowledge and skills, tough patient encounters, and difficult examinations to clear, and sometimes even failures. At these times, I have always found it useful to take some time for self-reflection and to go back to my why. Class of 2027, you have all worked hard and accomplished much to be here today. While you may have all come from different backgrounds and life experiences, you all begin again at the same starting line. And so my final piece of advice to you would be to never hesitate to ask for help. Don't shy away from challenging experiences, but recognize your limits and ask for help when the need arises. Know that we will all work this journey at our own pace, but we will also all be here for you to hold each other up. As you don your white coats tonight, you accept the virtues and responsibilities of a medical profession. As we recite our Hippocratic oath later, I believe you're all ready to make that commitment to uphold the highest standard of professionalism and to always put our patients' interests first. The expectations put on us are high and will require dedication, passion, and interest. Tenacity to learn and practice our craft well, and also to earn our patients' trust and respect for our profession. I have full confidence in your abilities to make our school proud and in your roles as future clinicians to improve and better the lives of our patients. So congratulations to you and your class 2027, and welcome to our Duke-NUS family.
Thank you, Dr. Pandey, for that warm and inspiring message. Now, before we proceed to the next highlight, we would like to screen a short video of our students sharing their hopes and aspirations for being a doctor.
Hi.
Hi. Hello. Kangkong, because I am tall and lanky.
Chocolate cake because I'm a huge fan of dark chocolate.
Granola bar because I have it for breakfast every day. and it is short and small but effective.
Coffee, because you can have hot coffee, iced coffee, lattes, macchiatos. It's versatile.
Dora the Explorer, because have you looked at my hair?
SpongeBob because I have very square shoulders.
Probably Maleficent, because she was always trying to do good, trying to bring peace between the humans and the fairies through everything.
Hello Kitty because I'm a huge fan of Sanrio.
I'm originally Syrian, I've lived in the UAE for 17 years, and I'm hoping to be here for more than 10 years.
I was in the SMU Duke-NUS pathway, and I think I chose the two most intense course to study, which is both law and medicine.
I was actually in the liberal arts, doing my undergraduate degree in anthropology in the hopes of one day doing research in global health and social medicine.
I was an Air Force engineer for the past 8 years. My time and experiences in the Air Force taught me that what I look for most important in a job is to have a deep sense of purpose as well as being able to serve others.
Clinician Plus, research, team leads, and the amazing and heartwarming staff and faculty.
The environment and the pedagogy really resonated with me.
They offered the conditional admissions program, allowing me to do both the social sciences for my undergrad degree and medicine for my postgraduate degree.
Because I live 20 minutes walk away from the school.
A good doctor is someone who heals sometimes, treats often, and comforts always.
Someone who is competent in his craft and knowledge so that he can treat diseases well and have the compassion to treat his patients as humans rather than a problem to be solved. Life in Duke-NUS will probably be endless coffee and insufficient sleep.
Challenging, yet fruitful, and it will be filled with a lot of intense studying, but at the same time I'll be having a lot of fun with my friends.
I am most excited for the team lead sessions because I think they're a very engaging way of learning.
I'm looking forward to clinicals where I can interact with patients and get to learn from them firsthand.
I hope to become a doctor with a bigger purpose. I want to do clinical research to help people with disabilities.
I hope to get into cancer research as a clinician scientist so that hopefully I can leave a greater impact through my work.
Become a pediatrician because that's been my lifelong dream, and also to serve or lead a global health organization in future.
It's been an honor and a privilege getting to know you these past few weeks.
Our time at Duke-NUS is going to be a ride of a lifetime.
I hope that we will be able to play hard together, but at the same time study hard.
And I'm excited to begin this journey with you guys. Let's go!
The excitement in that video is literally bubbling over, and I certainly hope you students will hang on to that passion, enthusiasm, and positive energy in the long days and short years to come. And for those of you, I believe it was Madhu, you're waiting for the team lead? Say that to me again in 6 months' time. Okay, and so to that end, today's white coat ceremony marks the formal start of our students' challenging yet fulfilling journey to become doctors. A journey which, upon graduation, culminates with their entry into the medical profession. In the face of ever-evolving health challenges, as underscored by the ongoing complexities brought on by local and global health crises, the steadfast commitment, resilience, and dedicated efforts of healthcare professionals remain key to navigating such times of uncertainty. The white coat is a talismanic emblem of the medical profession, and it is with great pride that we present our incoming class with their white coats. To introduce the class of 2027, I am pleased to invite our alumnus, Dr. Danny Pan, to share a few words of encouragement and then to present the class for the conferment of the white coats. Dr. Pan, please.
Thank you very much, Dr. Goh. Dear esteemed colleagues, guests, class of 2027, I'm Danny from the class of 2022. I'm an alumnus. First of all, congratulations to all of you for making it into medical school. It's a huge accomplishment. Your medical journey will be intense but enjoyable. The goings will be tough with many challenges and uncertainties. However, bear in mind that you are the selected few who pass through the tough and rigorous selection process. You have the potential as well as are equipped with the abilities to overcome whatever difficulties you will face. If you require a helping hand or support, please reach out to our faculty, college masters, seniors, your mentors, alumni, and staff. We're all here to help and support you along the way. Brace yourselves mentally and physically as you join your batchmates on the climb. There will be precious friendships forged, and you will discover strength in yourselves that you may not even know you possess. It is my honor to invite Professor Lim Soon Tai and Associate Professor Ang Bao Chi to come up on stage for the presentation of the White Coats. With honor, I present the class of 2027. Asfar Banu Alim, Sababa Amber. Ao Wan Lee, Ayapan Madhumita. Nabila binti Abdul Rahman, Chang Wei Yen. Julia Chen Pei Ying, Hao Ran Ching. Cheong Ying Yi, Chu Ching Wei Dennis. Esther Chong Hui Eng, Chong Zi Sung. Chua Si Ying, Chuan Jun Kai. Phu Tran De, Gopal Veda Milan. Rochelle Go, Go Xuan Ying. Faith Hong Shi Ting, Ho Chou Yuan. Jacqueline Jing, Ariel Ko Yung Yi. Aurelius Andrew Kunlatama, Kwak Lo Lam. Al Krisha, Olivia Lai Si Eng. Jolene Lam Jie Wen, Geraldine Li Wen Shi. Li Jingwei, Li Xuanhui Janice. Li Yufei, Lim Shen Yi Dominic. Lim Shin Ru, Lim Wei Kat. Lim Zhenbing Louis, Lin Jie. Ling Ming, Lin Yi Kun. Cha Yu Liu, Liu Miao Xian. Danny Lo Ji Ying, Lo Long Yi. Lo Yang Kit Marcus, Xun Lu. Anand Viren Ivan Mantri, Yahya Nakawe. Bao Mingjia Win, Dennis Wei Junwei. Pham Yen Than, Phua Hui Lin De Lin. Song Xingjie, Suo Mingyi. Tan Jiaying, Sherian Tan Yanzi. Tan Wei Hong, Tang Si Ik Beatrix. Tae Moon Wei, Elaine Teo Yi Lee. Teo Kai Ching, Wang Huai Yuan. Sao Hong Wang, David Wang Meng Kit. Ginny Wang Wei Wen, Wang Ling Yi Rachel. Wong Ting Hui, Yang Xuesi. Yap Su Ting, Bo Yi Yu. Junette Yu, Ling Yue Yu. Zhang Bo Ya, Muriel, Zhang Yuwei. Congratulations, class of 2027. Congratulations to what you have accomplished, and we look forward to what you will go on to accomplish. It's a great honor and privilege to be able to join the medical profession. Do take the time to celebrate today, enjoy with your loved ones before you embark on this next chapter of your lives. I look forward to welcoming you as my colleague in a few short years. And warm welcome once again to Duke-NUS.
Thank you, Dr. Pan. And that concludes the introduction of the class of 2027. And I would now like to invite Professor Fong Kok Yong to give us his congratulatory remarks and to lead the recitation of the Hippocratic Oath. Students, when we recite the Hippocratic Oath together, please remember to lift your cards up. Professor Fong, please.
A very good evening to all. And I must say that it's always a happy occasion to see such a big group of young and enthusiastic students putting on their white coat. And I want to encourage every one of them to continue to keep that enthusiasm. Despite the fact many a time we always joke, you enter medical school with great enthusiasm and happiness, and then you come into the health system, we turn out people with burnt out, and then long days and wanting to leave the profession. Right? But before we go on and become depressed in our mood, I would say that this is a happy occasion for us to celebrate. All right? But before we celebrate too much, I would now want to invite the class of 2027 and all our guests and clinical colleagues to join me in reflecting on the significance of the Hippocratic oath to the medical profession. Now, this ancient oath, as we know, is attributed to Hippocrates, a 4th century BC Greek physician, and widely acknowledged as the father of medicine, serve as the ethical and moral compass for all physicians. Now, the oath clearly sets out a set of timeless principles and values by which a clinician should practice medicine. Now, although written nearly 2,500 years ago, the oath has never lost its relevance throughout the ages. It is relevant today as it was yesterday, and it will continue to be relevant in the future. The oath lays out professional values and personal responsibilities, providing all physicians with clear guidance as to how they should practice medicine for the benefit not of themselves, but for their patients. Now, this evening, class of 2027 will recite the oath. This public recitation of the Hippocratic Oath affirms the acceptance of the personal and professional responsibilities as medical students, even as they begin the long but exciting journey to train to be trusted clinicians. Now, students, by taking this oath, you will not only bond with your fellow students, but also with your teachers and clinical colleagues, who will become your guides, your mentors, your role models, and also your lifelong friends. So at this juncture, I would like to invite all clinical colleagues to join me and the class of 2027 in reciting the Hippocratic Oath. Now, class of 2027 and fellow physicians, please stand. For those who are not physicians but would like to stand, you're also very welcome. I will lead the oath. Please recite after me after each line. I do solemnly swear. By whatever I hold most sacred. That I will be loyal to the profession of medicine. And just and generous to its members. That I will lead my life and practice my art in uprightness and honor. That into whatsoever home I shall enter, it shall be for the good of the sick and the well. To the utmost of my power. And that I will hold myself aloof from wrong and from corruption. And from the tempting of others to vice. That I will exercise my art solely for the cure of my patients and the prevention of disease, and will give no drugs and perform no operations for criminal purpose, and far less suggest such a thing. That whatsoever I shall see or hear of the lives of men, which is not fitting to be spoken, I will keep inviolably secret. These things I do promise. Any proportion as I am faithful to this oath. May happiness and good repute be ever mine. The opposite if I shall be forsworn. Now, it is always a significant and moving moment for all physicians to publicly declare their determination to maintain the highest professional standards in the medical profession. Now, class of 2027, heartiest congratulations and a warm welcome to the Duke-NUS Medical School and to the Sing Health Duke-NUS AMC family. Thank you, and please be seated. And thank you everyone for having the applause. But if I may ask you now to join me again, to put our hands together, to once again congratulate our class of 2027. If I may ask the class of 2027 to stand again for us to congratulate you again, right? Okay, thank you. Please be seated.
Thank you, Professor Fong. Congratulations again, class of 2027, and welcome to the medical community and family at Duke-NUS. As you begin your journey to become doctors, know that so many of us have offered you full support and encouragement every step of the way. You will never be alone. I am confident you will excel and go on to make a significant mark in the future of healthcare. Now, to close this ceremony, I would like to invite Associate Professor Anantham Devanan, Director of the Sing Health Duke-NUS Medical Humanities Institute, to share with us his closing remarks. Professor Devanan, please.
Thank you. Duke-NUS Governing Board, Singhelt leaders, Duke-NUS deans and faculty, family and friends. First, let me also offer my congratulations to the class of 2027 who received their white coats today. Next, thanks to the organizers for the privilege of this invitation. It is the recognition of medical humanities as part of the core of the practice of medicine. This recognition in our school has been cemented by the recent establishment of a joint institute, the Duke-NUS Humanities Institute. This institute will bring together resources that students and faculty can tap on, so there's much to look forward to. I want to return to the students whom we are very proud of today for crossing yet another threshold on their journey in a career in medicine. I also want to reflect on joy at work and joy in training. Much of any lack of joy has often been attributed to a loss of meaning in what we do. What the ideals that propelled us to enter the profession do not match up to the realities and brutalities of having to take care of the incapacitated, the wounded, and the sick. I have chosen a piece by Dr. Raquel Nomi Raman as a reading for today to reflect on this topic of meaning. And she has chosen to illustrate the point by describing an everyday occurrence in our health system, something that any one of you could encounter on the wards soon. Harry, an emergency physician, tells this story. One evening on his shift in a busy emergency room, a woman is brought in about to give birth. The nurses rapidly wheeled her into the room and paged him immediately. Harry was going to get to deliver this baby himself. The nurses had returned and were hastily opening delivery packs. The woman's husband had also arrived, and the nurses seated him by his wife's head. They stood on either side of Harry, supporting her legs. The baby was born almost immediately. While the little girl was still attached to her mother, Harry laid her along his left forearm. Holding the back of her head in his left hand, he took a suction bulb in his right and began to clear her mouth and nose of mucus. Suddenly, the baby opened her eyes and looked directly at him. In that moment, Harry stepped past his technical role and realized a very simple thing. He was the first human being this baby girl had ever seen. He felt his heart go out to her in welcome from all people everywhere, and tears came to his eyes. Harry had delivered hundreds of babies. He had always enjoyed the challenges of delivery, the excitement of making rapid decisions, and feeling his own competency. But he says that he had never let himself experience the meaning of what he was doing before. He feels that in a certain sense, this was the first baby he had ever delivered. He says that in the past, he would have been so preoccupied with the technical aspects of the delivery, assessing and responding to the needs and dangers, that he doubts he would have noticed the baby open her eyes or have registered what her look meant. He would have been there as a physician, but not as a human being. It is possible to be both. He wonders how many other such moments of connection he has missed. He suspects there have been many. The power of a personal sense of meaning to change the experience of work, of training, of relationships, of even life cannot be overestimated. Meaning is strength. Physicians often seek their strength in competence. Indeed, competence and expertise are two of the most respected qualities in the medical subculture, as well as in our society. But important as they are not sufficient to sustain us. The Italian psychiatrist Roberto Ascioli wrote a parable about interviewing 3 stonecutters building a cathedral in the 14th century. The effect of their sense of personal meaning on their experience of work is the same as the effect of meaning has for us today. When he asked the first stonecutter, what he's doing. The man replies with bitterness that he is cutting stones into blocks, a foot by 3/4 of a foot. With frustration, he describes a life in which he does this over and over and over again and will continue to do so until he dies. The second stone cutter is also cutting stones into blocks, a foot by 3/4 of a foot. But he replies in a somewhat different way. With warmth, he tells the interviewer that he is earning a living for his beloved family. Through his work, his children have clothes and food to grow strong. He and his wife have a home which they have filled with love. But it is the third man whose response gives us pause. In a joyous voice, he tells us of the privilege of participating in the building of this great cathedral, so strong that it will stand as a holy lighthouse for 1,000 years. The important thing in this parable is that all three of the expert stonecutters are doing the same repetitive physical task, cutting stones. In the same way, Harry had delivered baby after baby. Competence brings us satisfaction. Finding meaning in a familiar task often allows us to go beyond this and find in the most routine of tasks a deep sense of joy and gratitude. So this is my wish for all of you, class of 2027. Clinical medicine, as you've already heard, is going to be tremendously challenging. It's going to stretch your intellect. It's going to strain your emotions. It will test your patience. So much of your schedule and your learning may seem beyond your control as you hurry from one tutor to the next. Yet, all of you still retain agency to make meaning of all of this. It is up to you to decide if clinical medicine is a series of ward rounds that go over your heads and a never-ending checklist of conditions to see and procedures to complete. It is equally up to you to realize that the wards are where what is written in textbooks come to life and where you learn the actual work of medicine, where this moves from a theoretical to a practice discipline. Finally, it is also your choice to become part of the clinical team, to lend a sympathetic ear and offer a helpful hand, while being aware of the limits of your competence. That process will awaken in your minds that whom we are treating are not bed numbers or patients or discharge destinations, but real people with disrupted biographies. That process will help you share in the joy of recovery or bear witness to the pain of deterioration. This is, after all, the lighthouse that our profession continues to build every day, and one that we welcome you into. Thank you, and congratulations once again.
Thank you, Professor Devanan. We have now come to the end of the ceremony. Before we proceed for a commemorative group photograph at the atrium, we would like to share a special photo montage of the families who have been so instrumental in getting the students here. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in giving a warm round of applause to all the families and friends who are walking with our students through this long journey. And now, on behalf of Duke-NUS, thank you for taking the time to be with us today. We hope you enjoyed today's Duke-NUS White Coat ceremony. We have just one last task to complete. May I invite our leadership from Duke-NUS and Sing Health, faculty and the class, to follow our ushers to the foyer for the commemorative group photograph. I respectfully ask that all the other guests remain in your seats to allow this group to proceed for the group photo first. Ushers will invite you to join us in the foyer shortly. Thank you, everyone, and have a great evening ahead.